Welcome back, warrior. We are reading 2nd Nephi chapter 21 today, and I just need to give you a heads up. I'm not feeling 100% today. We are dealing with those female probs, if you know what I'm saying. Yep. Also, something that's stressing me out a lot is the fact that I have been called to be a teacher in Relief Society, and that means I get to teach women who are 18 and up, and I'm used to teaching women, girls, and children, and boys who are 18 and under. And so usually actually 12 and under even. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit inadequate about teaching sisters my esse, or even just sisters older than me and younger than me. And anyways, I'm trying to learn all that I can about teaching methods and questions and how to ask good questions and things like that. But I think that when I get to Sunday, everything's gonna bust out of my head, and I'm not gonna remember a single thing, and I'm just gonna try and blow through the whole thing and just be done. Even though in my mind I can imagine like this amazing setup and amazing experience that I want the sisters to be able to have with the Spirit. And so yeah, pray for me, Kay, because I need it. And being sick this week is not my favorite. So anyways, there you have it. Okay, so the preface is, or the synopsis here is: the stem of Jesse, or Christ, will judge in righteousness. The knowledge of God will cover the earth in the millennium. The Lord will raise an ensign and gather Israel. Compare Isaiah 11, about 559 to 545 BC. Okay. So yesterday we read chapter 20, right? Okay. Here we go, because so you know how much I like Redheaded Hostess. I've been trying to find, the art on this one is so cute. Look at this. Isn't that so good? It's from Heidi Carter, although it looks like it was AI generated, not gonna lie. Because AI starts doing all kinds of good stuff these days. But anyway, okay, so chapter 21, we're just gonna get started because it's late. I've been trying to learn all this teaching stuff because I'm like, it's just filling me with so much anxiety, and I just want to really do a good job, you know? I just want to be able to create a safe space for the sisters to feel like they can share whatever it is that they need to share, whether it's out loud or written down. So far in my mind, I'm thinking the way that I might want to do it is have people sit in different groups, but I don't know how to do that because I don't want people to feel intimidated either. Anyways, if you have any ideas, please let me know, because it would be great if you could help. I take any and all suggestions into consideration. Okay, here we go. And there shall come forth a rod, Jesus Christ, out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the branch of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. Okay, so Redheaded Hostess has commentary. So Christ is going to be the judge. And then it says, in the previous chapter, the Lord has hewn down Assyrian trees. Now there will come a new tree out of the stem of Jesse. Will come the mortal Messiah. Jesse was King David's father, and the Messiah was prophesied to come through the kingly line, which was known as the Davidic line. This Messiah will have the ability to judge all things in righteousness, and he will be able to bring justice by speaking it. He will be unlike any other. Okay, and then verse 6 to 9 says, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Okay, so Isaiah explains what life will be like during the millennium. Isaiah lists predatory animals that will lie with what would normally be their prey. This imagery captures the peace that will be upon the earth during the millennium. Another characteristic that Isaiah explains is that the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. That is a lot of knowledge. Ooh, and that's so good, and I think along with like all the stuff that AI and ChatGPT and all that stuff that's happening, I think people can get really up in arms about what that could mean to replace humans or human interaction or things like that. But on the complete other hand, it also means that, like, at least for me, it feels like I'll be able to have more knowledge at my fingertips. And I don't know about you, but and this is just like a really simple example. Like when you're texting people and you misspell a word and the spell check or the autocorrect corrects it. Well, if that autocorrect corrects me enough times correctly, I start learning how to spell it. And then I don't have to actually worry about misspelling that word in the future because I have now seen it many times written out and can now type it myself. And I love that. And I don't know if I've told you already. I feel like maybe I have, but just in case, I like to use ChatGPT to help me when I'm filling out, and I say filling out as if it's like some kind of form, but like when I'm trying to write thoughtful messages to my friends, I feel like I write the same thing all the time. And so I try not to, but it's hard because I only have a certain vocabulary available to myself. And so I have actually started using ChatGPT to help me change things up a little bit and give me a variety of words to use and expand what could possibly be my vocabulary, right? So I'm not using the exact same thing every time. Anyways, I think it's awesome. And I mean, I don't know. Some people might think, oh, that's not very thoughtful. And, but I'm not ever putting anything that I don't believe, right? So I'll read whatever it says that I have to actually put in stuff that I want it to say in the first place or what I want it to mean. And then it'll spit out a variation of it, but with better words than me saying the word awesome 10 times. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I love it and it's fantastic. And what I love about it is the fact that now if if I don't put it in ChatGPT, I can actually sometimes start thinking of words on my own, and I am able to write better cards, better notes to my friends, and I even surprise myself, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even have to look that up on ChatGPT. I didn't even have to ask it to give me some information or give me extra words or whatever. Like, I was actually able to come up with that on my own. And so I see this as like learning, and helping me expand who I want to become. And so I believe that if I can use those tools that are available to us in that way, that we will be able to expand and become even better and progress in a way that is in alignment with like who I want to become. And anyway, so I think I personally love tech and technology, but sometimes, there's people out there that don't like it as much. And I mean, I don't like it when they start switching things on my phone. But anyway, just like, I think that is a true statement, how the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. And so not just like empty knowledge, but like knowledge of the Lord. Like, what kind of knowledge do we really want? Like, knowledge of the Lord is the kind of knowledge that actually counts. And that makes a difference, right? But how do you even gain knowledge? More knowledge about the Lord, right? Like, where would you find that information? And you would find it in the scriptures. So, like, I think it's just fantastic. Okay, so then verse 10. And in that day, there shall be a root of Jesse, so Joseph Smith, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Okay, so in these verses it says, Doctrine and Covenants, section 113, verse 6, teaches that the root of Jesse that will be an ensign to the Gentiles is Joseph Smith. It is understood that Joseph Smith was a descendant of both Jesse and Ephraim, or Joseph. Many, if not most of us, can trace our lineage back to more than one tribe. In Doctrine and Covenants, section 113, it says, Behold, thus saith the Lord, it is a descendant of Jesse as well as of Joseph, unto whom rightly belongs the priesthood and the keys of the kingdom for an ensign, and for the gathering of my people in the last days. In the last days, the Lord will set up an ensign that the lost tribes of Israel can gather to. Will set up an ensign that the lost tribes of Israel can gather to. Read it correctly, Linda. Okay. Elder Hoyos explains what this ensign is. Okay, quote, in a scriptural context, an ensign or a standard is a flag around which people would gather in a unity of purpose. In ancient times, a standard served as a rallying point for soldiers in battle. Symbolically speaking, the Book of Mormon and the restored Church of Jesus Christ are standards to all nations, end quote. And this was Elder Benjamin de Hoyos, April 2017 General Conference. Okay, I'm just 100% was not listening. Were you listening? Because I wasn't. Okay, let me read that really quick one more time. Okay, so now that we've reread it, you could totally rewind, back it up. But basically, it means that just like people would gather around flags and like a symbol of like unity and purpose, we can gather around the Book of Mormon. Like, that's what it is for us. And I love going to testimony meetings on Fast and Testimony Sundays, which are usually the first Sunday of each month, where instead of having a assignment, like someone has been assigned to speak to the congregation, that anybody can go up and share their testimony about what they know about Jesus Christ and about his gospel. And recently, because we are reading from the Book of Mormon, it has been like everybody shares their testimony about the Book of Mormon, and it is the best. Everybody has different testimonies of the Book of Mormon, like how it's blessed their lives. And I love that so much because I strongly agree with each one of their testimonies. You know, it doesn't even matter what it is that you're wanting to do. You want to accomplish something hard, but it has nothing to do with like sin or anything. Great, the Book of Mormon can help you do that because it gets you closer to Jesus Christ. And as you get closer to Jesus Christ, you're able to do those hard things. And so he enables us to be able to do those things. But then also, if it is related to sin and those hard things, he can help us with those too. And so it's like, how does just reading the Book of Mormon do that? And I just think it's so fascinating to see how many different examples of people and experiences and challenges that people have that the Book of Mormon, that reading the Book of Mormon can help them with. It's just awesome. So if you have a testimony of the Book of Mormon, or you know, like you did something, or you accomplished something, or you had a goal, or you know, something, and we're reading the Book of Mormon at the same time, tell me in the comments, like how has reading the Book of Mormon helped you in your life? Like what has it helped you with? Or what has it helped you not do? What has it helped you do? What has it helped you not do? How is it helping you do anything? I'm just curious because like I can testify of so many things that it's helped me with. Okay, and I'm sure I've told you some of those. Okay, we're going to go on to verse 13 because I'm starting, my cough is coming back. Whew. The envy of Ephraim also shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the soldiers of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. Okay, Judah, the southern kingdom, and Ephraim, the northern kingdom of Israel, that were once divided, will now be at peace one with another. Verse 14 mentions Israel's former enemies, Edom and Moab. In the last days, they represent any nation who stands in the way of God and his ways. Israel will triumph over them. Okay, and then 15 to 16, that's the last of it for today. And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind he shall shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt. These verses contain 2 short psalms. Oh, just kidding. I skipped ahead. No. Verses 15 to 16 says that tongue in verse 15 can also mean gulf. These verses reference Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt and across the Red Sea. This is symbolic of nations being unable to interfere with the Lord's work in the gathering of his people, and how the way will be made available to them to be gathered back into the blessing of the house of Israel. Okay. All right. That is the end of verse 16. couple things, just some housekeeping. People always call it that. Remember to subscribe to all of these magazines online because they are now free. And you can get printed magazines and just have them laying around your home so that you can always have a reminder of Jesus Christ, like a physical, tangible reminder, and be able to thumb through it. Just yesterday, our 15-year-old was able to pick out a lesson from this youth magazine and was able to talk to us about it. And we each were able to pick out something that we were going to do to come closer to Jesus Christ from the different 7 ways that we could do it. And I thought that was super fantastic. Also, it includes this, which is, I think, my new favorite picture of Jesus Christ. And the artist here is by J. Bryant Ward, titled "In Humility, Our Savior." I love that. Okay, so yeah. Remember to subscribe because the church has changed it up and you don't actually have to pay for those magazines anymore. Lastly, if you need a verse by verse Book of Mormon reading chart, let me know in the comments and I can send it your way. And the last thing that I wanted to read was this. Says that we need to read Elder Dale G. Renlund's talk titled "The Peace of Christ Abolishes Enmity," and it's in the October 2021 General Conference. And I think that I'm going to have to read that so that I can know what it says. But I guess I should wait because this one kind of says it's chapters 21 and 22. So we haven't read chapter 22 yet. So we'll read that tomorrow. And then we will give you that summary. Actually, tomorrow, that's only like 6 verses. I should probably read that right now, but it is really late, so we're not gonna. But the Read It, Live It challenge is, it says, when the Spirit rests upon you, it brings wisdom, counsel, might, understanding, and knowledge. Which one of those do you need right now? Invite the Spirit in. I love that. Invite the Spirit in. How are you going to invite the Spirit in today? All right. Until tomorrow. Stay strong, warrior.